Welcome back to Western Wild. I'm Tessa, this is Dylan, and this is May. Today we're going to be talking about truck top truck top campers. We've spent the last 2 years obviously in our Oru and have made quite a few videos about how we like the camper, what build out plans we're doing, those types of things. And we've gotten a lot of comments from people of, hey, what should I look for? This is the type of adventuring I do. What would your recommendations be? So today we're going to talk through the different types of truck top campers that you can get that are pop top like this one, or wedge top, so that you can make your own decisions and be more well researched.
So before we get started, I'm going to give a quick overview on this particular style of camper. Unlike a traditional slide-in camper, these campers sit on top of your truck bed, and it's basically just like a camper shell that you would have on a truck, paired with a rooftop tent with a pass-through space in between. There's a whole variety of companies doing this right now. We like Oru. In this video though, we're not talking about a particular brand. We're just here to help you define the questions that you should ask in your own camper search, regardless of what brand you're looking at. So why should you be interested in this style of camper? Biggest thing with these is that they are much lighter than a traditional slide-in camper. And if you are in a mid-sized truck or even a full-size truck, this is really the only style of pop-up camper that you should be looking at from a weight standpoint. Anything else, regardless of what the manufacturer say, is going to be too heavy. You want a truck top camper. Another benefit of this is that it lets you use your truck as a truck. So the camper part ends here. Everything below that is the regular truck bed. So you're free to do your own build out. You're free to use this for your day-to-day life, especially if you have like a small business or you have a lot of home improvement projects. You can use this as a truck most of the time. The whole thing actually adds value to your truck because now you have a cap on it. And then when you want to go do your camping weekends or multi-week trips, you've got a tent on top with a pass-through interior living space. It's great. So kicking off our list of considerations when you're looking for a truck top or wedge style camper, the number one thing that you should look at is weight. Biggest benefit to these campers is that they can be much lighter than a traditional slide-in. They don't chew up all of your payload, particularly if you're in a mid-size or half-ton truck. Usually only have about 1,000 to 1,500 pounds to work with. Throw in people, throw in gear, throw in a big heavy camper, that gets chewed up rather quickly. So as you're looking for these, I would say, if at all possible, try to find one that is under 400 pounds. Some of them go down even below 300 pounds, and that's great if you can find that as well. But that 300 to 400 pound range is really the sweet spot that you want to look for. The next consideration to look at, as there's a wide variety of campers out there with different styles, is width of the camper. Some of the models have super angled in sides that restrict your interior living space. Ours is kind of in the middle. Others have straight up and down sides that come out just to the bed rail. And then there's another category of camper that actually extends over the bed rail a bit. That really comes down to, what types of trails are you going to be running? How narrow does your vehicle need to be? And then how much interior living space do you need? If you're traveling solo, going with one of the skinnier models, probably a great idea. If you're with a family like us or even a larger family, you may want to consider one of the wider models that goes out over the bed. And the next thing to look at is the style of roof that you have with these campers. There's a few new models out there that are mixing things up, but generally speaking, you're either looking at a traditional wedge camper, which is sloped, or the flat top. There's pros and cons to each. For the fabric-only models, unlike ours, the wedge is probably a better bet for weather resistance. It's also significantly cheaper in most cases. But then on the flip side, you also miss out on a lot of additional living space. This feels much more airy and open inside than a wedge. And then on top of that, we've heard some things that from people with wedge campers, because the sleeping position makes it so that you have to sleep with your head towards the back. It's a lot harder for couples who are camping together to get in and out without disturbing each other at night. So playing into your roof style is going to be weather resistance. Obviously, this is a key consideration for any type of camper, that you want to stay warm, you want to stay dry. We're out here dealing with wind, rain, snow. You want to keep all of that out. So in general, a wedge style is going to be a little bit better in most weather conditions. You can park it into the wind. It will shed rain and snow better, just naturally because of its design. That changes a little bit when you're talking about a hybrid hard side model that can handle wind a little bit better, and a flat top design. Particularly with the flat top designs with weather resistance, one thing that you want to consider is what is its snow load, and I'd actually ask the manufacturer what the consideration is there. Some of them have additional snow kits that you can buy to help support the weight of snow on the roof. And it's just something to look at, particularly for those of you who are wanting to buy this as your ski chalet camper for winter.
Next, we wanted to talk about build quality. Obviously, these are expensive purchases, and you want to make sure that what you're buying is worth the price and looks nice, performs well, holds up to all the potential weather that you could be having this in. We recommend seeing these in person before you buy if you can. I realize that can be a bit challenging. If you're able to go to events like Overland Expo, they have tons and tons and tons of different truck top camper models that you can go tour and touch and feel and smell and see to get a feel for what works best for you. If you can't go to one of those events, or the brand that you're looking at doesn't have a show floor that you can access, watch a lot of YouTube videos. There are tons of people who love to review what they've purchased, what they like about it, what they don't like about it. And you can get a pretty good feel for what type of quality a brand is going to provide. So ease of setup and takedown. For any of you that are coming from a rooftop tent, you know just how important this is. Any type of camper like this, across the board, they're usually pretty quick. You can expect, a 30-second to 2-minute time setup. I think for these, some of them require going into the actual camper to be able to fully set it up and take it down. Others, it's just an exterior, either latch or pull or strap that allows you to set this up quickly. So I would really, when you're looking at these, analyze what are your needs in terms of a quick setup. Are you going and take down? Are you going to places that have inclement weather that can roll in fast, and you need more of a 30-second setup and takedown because that mega snowstorm is coming in and you got to get out of Dodge quickly? Or are you camping in more just good weather, and it can be more of a 2-minute setup and takedown because you have the time and you're not going to be going places that are nasty weather.
One thing that's going to be important for some of you is looking at what factory options are available for the camper. What styles of windows can you add? What your general level of customization is versus what you have to buy off the shelf. Other things to look at, what are the considerations for solar power? Is a fan available? How easy is it to mount accessories onto the camper? One thing, some campers have an extruded aluminum rail on the outside that you can easily mount awnings into. Others, like this one, don't, and you have to drill in. And you just have to ask, how important is that level of customization for you?
Something else to consider is how much pass-through space, meaning space from the truck bed up to the bed you get. Some have quite a bit of pass-through space without having to move the bed platform. Others require you moving or shortening the bed platform to get more pass-through space. So that really comes down to personal preference as to how much work you're willing to put in to create more space in the bed for you to live versus less. It also depends on the type of adventuring you're doing. If you're just a weekend warrior, this is probably less of a worry. If you're someone who is trying to camp for weeks at a time, work remotely, play, etc., then you're definitely going to want to consider a camper that allows for more pass-through space so your interior living space is greater. The type of pass-through space you have also really affects your ability to change clothes in an enclosed environment. get in and out of bed easily without disturbing your partner. Those types of things are also crucial to consider because you want to be able to maneuver through your space fairly easily, especially when you have more than just yourself in your camper. All right, now to go on to sleeping orientation and mattress sizes and such. This really varies by brand, and width of camper. Some offer a full king size bed, some offer a twin, some offer a queen. The skinnier your camper is, obviously, the smaller your mattress is going to be. The wider your camper is, the bigger your mattress is going to be. Most of the campers that have the widths that extend out over the side of the bed railing are going to have full king mattresses. Their sleeping orientation is generally a bit more east-west instead of north-south, like what we have here with a full queen. With even a full queen, it does allow for pretty comfortable sleeping. The only challenge that I really view with this is how you get in and out of it. If you have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, you're kind of doing the whale flop to get out of here and get down. That is somewhat of an advantage to a east-west sleeping orientation. The disadvantage there is you kind of have to climb over whoever you're sleeping next to get down. In looking at types of mattresses, this is somewhat company specific. I definitely would recommend going with a company that provides a mattress for your camper because then you're not trying to make things fit. We have a 4-inch memory foam mattress. If you can get something like that, it provides a very comfortable sleeping situation. That would be the one brand specific recommendation I will make in this video. Is that this mattress is pretty comfortable. The other aspect to consider, and this ties into your setup time, with many of these, at least hard-sided campers, you can leave your sleeping bags and your pillows up top while this whole thing is collapsed. So there's enough space up here to allow for that, and you can see the amount of stuff that we have up here at the moment. And this all is able to stay up here. So considering something that allows you to do this really reduces your setup time.
So last but certainly not least is price. These campers can range quite a bit, usually starting around $6 to $7 grand, all the way up to 20 or so, depending on the company and the options that you get. You'll really want to look at what your personal use case is. Are you a weekend warrior, or are you looking to live in this for a long time? Are you alone, or are you with a family? All of those types of things factor into your budget. And also, just how many nights a year are you going to be spending in this thing? If you're towards the lower end of the spectrum, a handful of weekends per year, you might even want to look at a ground tent or something cheaper. But if you're out several weeks a year, these things can definitely be worth it. I will say that the Wedge style campers tend to be on the cheaper side. You get into the flat top models and the wider models, and price goes up. So again, definitely consider your use case there and the value that you're going to get for your money as you buy for as you shop for your camper. So that just about wraps up our truck top / wedge camper buyer's guide. Again, if you're interested in Oru content specifically, I will put a link down to a playlist in the description. You should also subscribe to our channel because we're going to have a long-term review of this coming up. Next month, hopefully. We're always happy to answer any questions that you have, regardless of what brand of camper you're looking at. More than anything, we really believe in this style of product as a great choice for a general adventurer lifestyle. So hit us up in the comments.
We want to hear all your questions.
And until next time,
stay wild. Right? Today we're going to talk about, give me a sec, rooftop.
It's a mouthful.
Truck
top.
I want to say rooftop campers.
Truck top pop-up campers.
Truck top pop-up campers. Truck top pop-up campers. Okay, 3, 2, 1.